Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, a provincial resolution gave recognition to Matea Zaria Gonzalez, an 8-year-old swimmer from Tahi, Tabaco City during the 80th regular session of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay. The provincial resolution number 1022-2024, authored by board member Reynaldo Bargais, was created to congratulate and commend the young Tabacania swimmer for bringing pride to the province of Albay. Gonzalez bagged 2 gold medals and 1 bronze medal in the recently concluded Asian Open Swimming Invitational Aquatic Championship in Bangkok, Thailand. In other story, the Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay during its 80th regular session moved for the approval of a resolution declaring travel allowance for persons with disability in Ginubatan. Municipal Ordinance number 001-2024, entitled Strengthening the Persons with Disability Residents of 44 barangays in Ginubatan, for providing them the necessary travel allowance, appropriating funds thereof, and for other purposes, was presented by board member Jesus Salceda, the chairman of the Committee on Senior Citizens and Persons with Disability. The approved ordinance will allocate 500 pesos per month to PWDs in Ginubatan as travel allowance, underscoring the local government's commitment to supporting and empowering its PWD community. In other news, the state-run pension fund Social Security System SSS expanded its presence in the Sorsogon as the number of members in the province grew in 2023. Rolando Gomez, branch head of SSS, said it has opened service centers in a number of barangays to serve the 91,870 employees and self-employed individuals in the province. He said the community-centric approach has made the membership process smoother, especially for those in the informal sector. According to Gomez, the SSS members in the province has increased by 32%, reaching a total of 91,870 as of November 29, 2023. In the national scene, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources said Wednesday, March 13, that it had ordered a temporary closure of the now viral resort near Bohol's Chocolate Hills. The DNR said it issued a temporary closure order in September 2023 and a notice of violation in January 2024 against Captain's Peak Resort for operating without an ECC or Environmental Compliance Certificate. The agency said it directed Bohol's Environmental Office to create a team and inspect the resort's compliance to the temporary closure order. According to the Department of Tourism, Captain's Peak Resort Development in Chocolate Hills is not an accredited tourism establishment. Also, it has no pending application for accreditation. In other story, the El Niño has caused at least 1.31 billion pesos worth of agricultural damage as of mid-March, the Department of Agriculture DA said Wednesday, March 13. Majority of the damage as of March 12 affected about 14,142 hectares of palay plantation, DA spokesperson Arnel de Mesa said in a briefing. Areas primarily affected included Western Visayas, Zamboanga, and Ilocos, or those in the western side of the archipelago, he said. However, the official assured the public that this was still smaller compared to the damage incurred during the El Niño that hit the country in 1997 and 1998. In other news, the Department of Labor Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma still has reservations on the proposed 100 peso minimum wage hike. The labor chief stated that the proposed wage hike could lead to a slowdown of the country's economic growth. Laguesma said the move might lead to layoffs in certain businesses who cannot afford to implement the increase. The president of the Employers Confederation of the Philippines also warned that another round of wage hike in the private sector could cause inflation to quicken. The bill proposing a 100 peso hike in the daily wage of private sector or private sector workers has been approved by the Senate. And in the news outside the country, President Vladimir Putin warned the West on Wednesday, March 13. Russia is technically ready for nuclear war and that if the U.S. sent troops to Ukraine, it would be considered a significant escalation of the conflict. Putin, speaking just days before March 15 to 17 election, which is certain to give him another 6 years in power, said that the nuclear war scenario was not rushing up and he saw no need for the use of nuclear weapons in Ukraine. Putin said the U.S. understood that if it deployed American troops in Russian territory or to Ukraine, Russia would treat the move as an intervention. In other story, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump both clinched their party's nomination Tuesday, March 12, kicking off the first U.S. presidential election rematch in nearly 70 years. Biden needed 1,968 delegates to win the nomination, and he passed that number on Tuesday night as results began to come in from the primary contest in Georgia. Biden issued a statement after he sealed the Democratic nomination, taking aim at what he called Trump's campaign of resentment, revenge, and retribution that threatens the very idea of America. And finally, in the news outside the country, a Belgian farmer is taking French oil and gas company Total Energies to court, seeking compensation for climate change-fueled damage to his farm and a legal order for the company to halt investments in new fossil fuel projects. The case, filed on Wednesday, March 13 at the Tournai Commercial Court, is the first climate change-related lawsuit in Belgium to target a multinational company. It follows a case in which thousands of citizens successfully sued the Belgian government to demand stronger greenhouse gas emissions cuts. A spokesperson for Total Energies declined to comment on the case. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, March 14, 2024. We'll be right back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, Francia May Boras, and on the technical side, Chad Bolbis. And of course, our Provincial Information Officer, Attorney Mary Luduga Castillo. Hey man, get well soon. And of course, under the supervision of our Governor, Attorney Elsil Greg Hallare, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.